do a little chitty chat. Hella crazy, but let's not look hella crazy because we have some things to do today. This month has been crazy. Hello, April. It's been nuts. And I just can't believe the blessings that God has definitely bestowed upon me. And it really taught me in March to fully trust him. If you've ever been in a season where you fully have to trust in God, like, and you're just like, I just don't. It's been really hard. If you're an entrepreneur, you kind of know, you live this. If you're self-employed, you live this day every day by trusting in the Lord and doing the best that you can each and every day to propel your business to where you want it to be. Right now, I just feel like my head is in shambles. Everything is in shambles. Everybody loves this primer, but I cannot stand this primer. But like, because I have a little bit of it, I'm like, I always use it. The longevity of the foundation definitely wears very long. The other day, I went out with a couple of my friends and I literally passed out in the bed, woke up the next day to go to church, and my foundation was legit still intact. I'll insert a picture somewhere in here because it was legit intact. And I want to say it's because of this primer. Like, I was a little greasy, but I literally went throughout the entire day with that same foundation. Like, my pores, it doesn't fix that problem. And if I put a foundation, or not foundation, but if I put a primer on top of this, it's just gonna make it look a mess. I love this brush. A lot of people rave about this brush when they use it, or when I'm doing clients. They're like, oh my God, it feels so soft. Like, I love it. I am still stuck on Mario. It is gonna be that foundation probably until I don't know what, but Mario is it for me. And, you know, I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy, you know, getting my knowledge as a business owner. I really enjoy doing, you know, makeup. I really enjoy, as I'm finding out, just all the things that I used to enjoy that I wasn't doing previously to having, you know, a child. Anywho, I was on TikTok and this girl was like, you guys need to be better at storytelling while doing this. And it kind of discouraged me a little bit. I have no idea why, but it did. It was just like, damn, am I good enough to do this? And this is just me being real, being transparent as I am. It really took me back. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm going to just focus on my businesses and I'm not going to do this. But the Lord literally was like, I want you in front of the camera. Like, people need to hear your story. And still, I'm kind of just like piecing it together, to be honest, because I feel like the testimonial is coming. I just don't know how to articulate it, to be completely honest. If you've ever felt like you have to trust God in these seasons, especially as an entrepreneur, reading and putting yourself out there and putting yourself in a position where you have no choice. Like right now, I have no choice, like none. And if you've exhausted all your choices, just know that he's working behind there. Goals, all your, you know, I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to, you know, even if there's a couple things that you have not done, my testimony is like, he's gonna do it anyways. Like, he's gonna do it anyways. And how I know this to be true is basically last year around this time, around this time, I wanted to do a makeup class. All my clients are always like, why don't you do a makeup class, da, 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 da. The thing is that when you start listening to people on like things that you should be doing, they want to support you right then and there because they're in your presence. But sometimes they're not going to support you, you know, when that class comes. or see a benefit. I have some clients that, you know, they love makeup, they know how to do makeup, they know, you know, and they would definitely enjoy a class like that. Then I have clients that are like, girl, I don't touch my face. I do a little mascara or whatever, and I hire you to do my face, or I hire the team to do my face. That's just what I like. Which was gonna do it at a cute selfie museum. She's great. I'll tag the selfie museum down below if you are in Charlotte. But at this point, basically, no one's purchasing the class. So I'm getting discouraged. I'm like, what am I not doing? I'm doing something wrong. I'm advertising it. I'm emailing it. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. All my entrepreneurs say, amen, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, I'm trying everything. I'm trying to do everything, but for some reason, it's just not working. Mind you, okay. So now that's a year, I call the girl that I did the event space with or whatever, and I'm like, hey, no one's purchasing any tickets. You know, the date's coming up. I think we need to just postpone this. So I postponed the class. And as I postponed the class, you know, of course I got discouraged, but other things came up. My makeup toolbox, we went to, as I wrote down just recently, we did like 7 pop-up events. And so I'm like, how was I supposed to do makeup toolbox and do a Vogue Beauty class, which both are my companies? You know, and be a mom and be a wife, like do all the things. Okay, so let's fast forward to now. Look at how God works. This is what's meant for you will be for you. Also, don't force things. I was forcing the class. I was forcing, like, this is what my clients want. I got to give it to them. I have to do this. But when you do not force and you just attract and you just let God just attract it to you, it's not going to miss you. It's just going to be for you. A year later, exactly around the same time I was going to do this class, and I will insert the class that happened this year. Complete, utter miracle, blessing, whatever you want to call it, it was completely by God. So mind you that when you do a class, you have to buy everything. You have to buy mirrors. You have to buy just, I have the tools to help with application, but there's so many factors that have to go into play when you are doing a makeup class, right? Lady emails me and she's like, hey, I definitely want to jump on a call with you. I want to talk about possibly, if everything, sounds right, logistic and price right, I want to talk about you potentially doing a makeup class for us. And I'm like, oh my God, super cool. And I'm like, I didn't think anything of it. All I was just like, oh my God, like I need this right now. Like, this is so cool. I definitely need this, it's such a great opportunity. So as I'm talking to her and we're talking about the event, I'm noticing that she also is, the event is for all her church ladies. It's a church group that they meet and they do something new or something fun every single year. So this year, a lot of the ladies were like, I want to learn makeup. Like, I want to learn how to apply makeup. And I'm like, that is so cool, because that's basically what I want. I want to teach women that don't necessarily do makeup on a day-to-day basis, don't know or watch YouTube videos. These are the reason why I made these brushes. These are the reason why I made the bag, was just in mind of everyday women that love makeup, like makeup, want to learn makeup. But, it's intimidating when you have all these influencers, people like, makeup artists. We know how to do makeup, but, let me teach you. Okay. So I'm like, this is great. This is, oh my God. Like, and she's like, basically, here's the flyer. You don't have to do anything. All we want is to bring yourself. And I'm like, Lord, no way. I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm not kidding you. She paid for everything. She paid for me to teach. She paid for like the entire class. So you learn a makeup, you do a makeup class once. It's not like you're going to learn it. Repetition is key. So the more and more you're watching these TikTok videos on like makeup application and you don't know how to do your makeup, the more you watch them, the more you understand, the more you actually are hands-on with it, depending on what type of learner you are, you're gonna learn something. It didn't click, or I didn't realize literally until probably 2 to 3 weeks before the class that I had literally booked and did a class for my own a year later, or a year before. It basically failed. It failed. And now I'm going to do a class with the exact amount of people. I kid you not. She literally, I think she had about 30 people. And that's exactly how much the class was going to hold. So 30 people. I didn't have to pay for anything. Didn't have to do anything, but bring myself and my craft. And the Lord said, here you go. You're going to get paid. You're going to get paid for it. I didn't have to spare the expense of all the back end stuff. All I had to do was go and do the job. So I am still in utter shock that this was even like a year later. So what's meant for you, it won't pass you. It can't pass you. Because you're supposed to do it. And if I put it out there, and basically the Lord was like, not yet, not right now. But look at how this transpired, where now it's like, now's the time. And like the enemy kind of comes in these like real circumstances, right? Because he did. Oh, he tried it. Oh, he tried it so hard that it knocked me. A week leading up to the event, I had some personal things, transpiring where it was my first time having a panic attack. And I don't know if anybody or anything, like before having my child, I never had anxiety. I never dealt with panic attacks. I've seen them. I've been there for people, but myself, I have not. So I literally had a panic attack. I had to kind of calm myself, talk to my therapist, email her. I had literally just talked to my therapist at that. Let's put that out there. And I freaked out. And I don't know if it was because I still, honestly, I think because of family, I freaked out. That's where my head goes, but I don't think I freaked out because of that. Honestly, I think there was a lot of factors wow, I really need to sit down and trust God because he's about to do something magnificent. Also, this whole testimonial on I need to trust God because look at what just happened. So the devil, the spiritual warfare was like, she's about to embark on something and let me mentally mess with her so that either it doesn't transpire or that she fails or anything. That's kind of what went in my head. So he's trying to knock me off my game. If you've ever had somewhere where, he's trying to knock you out. He's trying to distract you from what you need to do and the purpose that God has you here and the purpose that God wants you to do. Just being in a room full of Christian women at that, believing in God, praying and doing makeup, I'm like, wow, this is great. And I really just want to say, like, it's a trusting journey with this man, but, you know, with the spirit, like every single day, it really shocks me because I'm like, wow, like if I really just sit back and let you work, I'm going to be okay. But it's a journey every single day. It's not like I can say that today and then tomorrow I feel like, oh, I'm good. No, I have to do it every single day. I have to basically prepare myself for the spiritual warfare that's probably going to come about every single day. This is another one of our brushes I love because it gets like right in this socket. Number one, let's go back to the class because I'm literally using, so she gifted everybody something and she had games for everybody and she had prizes for everybody. Great. Then she's like, oh, this is for you. She drops me a card and she hands me this right here. I never have owned not one naked palette, and I'm a makeup artist and I've never not owned not one. Number one, the colors in this palette are remarkable. And like I said, I just love our brushes because they just apply very easy. They pick up the pigment very nicely and they go in the socket where I need them to go. So they'll diffuse if they need to, you know, but if it needs to go into the socket, it's there. So that's just me boasting about my brushes that I love so much. No idea what I'm wearing today. And when I don't know what I'm wearing, it's gonna be neutral. That's just what it's gonna be. Would wear is some about Urban Decay. They do this white color, magnificent. They've always done it that pigmented, and it's so great. I love it here. I love a pale, like white, done correctly. Little brush too, because when you're doing this type of look, you can blend it out. But I still really couldn't get over the fact that this really happened. When I look, you know, when I was like, I looked back throughout the week, I was like, did I really just do that? And then the videographer like sent us all of our stuff and I'm like, yo, I really just did that. Because if there's someone out there and you know you've put something out in the world and you've done something and you're just like, damn, it didn't work. You don't know what God's favor is, what God's blessing is in the future to help you, to not help you, but to see that didn't happen because this was supposed to happen. And then now, because this class happened or whatever you put out in the world, whatever you did now it's time. I think sometimes, you know, as entrepreneurs, business owners, we're like, okay, we got to do this Q1, we got to do this Q2. And I really am at the point of this releasing period, like releasing negativity, just releasing period, releasing and trusting. And so far, I will say throughout the 6 months of moving out, of ending the relationship, he has not failed me yet. He has not failed me yet, not one time. And he's definitely not failed me within this business. I have my Christian music in the background. Oh, it's so good. If you like, new Christian music is fire, like legit fire. So yeah, throughout this journey too, as I continue doing my makeup, just sharing a little bit about just where I was then versus how I am now. There's a lot of things that I want to share, and there's a lot of things that I know are not going to be received well. But I do know this. I know that within the time of believing in something else in my life, it has never felt like believing in God. Like, God says he's a jealous God, and he is a jealous God. But know that when you walk that purpose, there's a purpose of why you're walking with God, why you're following God, because that is where our whole being is supposed to be. Another example, yesterday I did one of my clients' makeup, and I've been doing her makeup for probably about 3 years now. As I was doing it, you know, we never really got into the focus of God, let's say. But recently, you know, he's been my focus. And I'm not a new believer. I've backslid. I've lost my way. But I gave my life to Christ back in 2010, probably before then. But I want to say 2010 because Instagram wasn't even out. And this was way before then. I gave my life to Christ then. But as I, you know, continued this journey, I went back. I you know, definitely went the spiritual realm, if you get what I'm saying. And as I went the spiritual realm, you know, life was good, but I knew something was off. And I kept on asking God, like, was I supposed to be meditating like this? And was I supposed to be praying at the same time like this? And there was no answer, as in now when he answers me versus then. There was nothing, no communication. And as I did my client that day, you know, we were listening to, worldly music, and, you know, we're listening, and never before has she ever been like, oh, I'm sorry, let me change this. Like, you know what? I don't really like it either. I'm going to change it. I'm sorry. She's never apologized, and she's cussed a lot of times before. I realized it this morning as I was praying, that, like, honestly, there's a reason. There's a reason of why, you know, that respect level happens. It's a respect level that even if you are part of the world, you have that respect level because you know who the higher being is. Thank you, God. Because I had no idea. I literally was telling him, like, I have no idea how I'm going to even say this out loud. Like, how I'm going to word it. You know the respect level. You know your body, your entire body knows who's the creator. You just haven't caught up with, this is what I need to do. I have to give myself to Christ. My body, my spirit is calling for it. But my flesh, there's so much flesh in the front, just like working out and being fat. There's so much fat to get to the muscle that you got to do something about it. You want to lose weight? You got to do something about it. That's like the easiest way I can say what's like in my head, because there's so much more, and we'll talk about that. But I just know that we're believing in something in that spiritual realm that God can do so much more. It's kind of like you're limiting yourself by believing in these stones that are going to do something great, and they cannot. They literally cannot, because they were actually created by the creator. So why would you, layman's term, if the CEO of the company told you to do something and you're still listening to the manager, he's the manager. He doesn't have final say. So you're believing in the manager, knowing that the CEO makes the final decision, makes the final choice, can get you where you need to go, can elevate you, can bless you, can do all those things, but you're still listening to the manager. Same concept. So I didn't realize that. I was going through postpartum and outside influences. Listen, you can watch me sit here, do makeup, cool, like me. I like you guys back. I love all of you guys. But really sit with yourself when you're making a decision about what you want to do. At that time, outside influences were making my decisions. And now I'm like, no, you can have your opinion, but you're not going to make the decision for me or make me feel a certain way too. But then go back to what that girl said on, TikTok with the with the videos. If you guys are not a good storyteller, well, that kind of influenced me. So I still have that residue that God has to definitely work on me on, because that's not me and that's not how he made me. And I don't care what the outside world is looking like. My job here on earth is to create beautiful things, and I love it, and I love sharing and, help women, feel beautiful inside and out. But also, I feel like my job is to just share the word. That is our job to her. This lash is ridiculously ridiculous. But for the sake of the videos, I probably will keep them on, but I will not be going to this event with this lash on. Number one, my eye makeup is too soft for this lash. And this is like, let's do a lesson real quick. My ADHD is on fire because I went from one subject to another. So I just personally would not put this, if you want to, if it was a heavier makeup look, then yes, I would do something like this. And maybe it does look pretty, but it is too dramatic for what I'm about to do. And what, take it, each your own. If you like this, girl, rock it. For me, no. And professionally, I would tell my clients, like, let's do something a little bit softer so that you look more presentable with what you're gonna go be doing. So I have this other lash, and like, to me, I don't like the way that it's not winged out like that, but I do like that it's softer. It's called Unattached. Leo, I love her names. Like, whoever creates her names, magic. Literally, that's how I feel right now in my entire life. I feel so unattached. I want to be unattached to everything that God does not see the purpose in me being attached to. Oh, that was a word. It's giving more summer, but I'm going to show you guys like how I tone it down so it gives more spring. My concealer. And what's the good thing is that this corrector is a little pink too. It has like a little pink hue. So this is what I wanted, like a nice pale pink. And now that's my story. That's what happened this weekend. Hopefully you guys find some inspiration on that. Yeah, that's what I really, really pray. And I hope and I pray that you guys all are feeling fantastic and well. And if anything, if you need any prayer requests or anything, please leave it down below. I would love to pray for you. Bye.